Welcome to the NBA Coast to Coast podcast brought to you by TheLines.com. I'm your host, Nate Weitzer, flying solo here on a Wednesday from the East Coast with Josh taking a little break for some travel. We've got a small slate here. 6 games on a Wednesday. Very strange from the NBA as we wind down the rest of the regular season, but we will be bringing you these videos each and every weekday right through the end of that season and then into the playoffs. We've also got our email newsletter actually bumped up to Wednesday this week. So we've got that pick out today. We've been 3-1 on the parlays, narrow miss for the first time last Friday as Book came up short, but KD went nuts in that parlay. Got a little parlay I'll just tease with the Pacers-Lakers game. Got to click into the newsletter to figure out which props we're going with there to get you some plus money on a parlay. Also got player props up in a separate video. We're looking at some best bets here. So let me get right into it here. Lakers at Pacers. I do have a pick here. It's just Pacers -1. Basically a pick 'em here, and Lakers are running on fumes while the Pacers are red hot. It's a bad time to be admittedly tired, which is how JJ Redick described his team. It's a veteran-laden team that is now, we didn't expect to be any good on defense, and they sort of had that initial boost of like, okay, well, watch us. And then the wheels have fallen off. Their defense has been abysmal, especially on the road. Like, they just don't have that same lift, it seems, to close out, to rotate, to implement the good game plans Redick is putting out there. But personnel, like, his hands kind of tied. So lost 5 straight road games, have the Lakers, 125 defensive rating, and not scoring enough to make up for that. That's for sure. 109 in the fourth quarter in particular in their last 4. Worst offensive rating in the league, 91 with a 97 pace. I was looking at under for this game if it continues to get out of control. Maybe fourth quarter under if it correlates there, because under for the game is what I'm thinking is just like this thing bogs down a little bit. If it's competitive, it's going to be very methodical Luka, LeBron possessions, looking for that ISO against the Pacers, trying to keep it slow because they can't keep pace with the Pacers. The Pacers are going to run them all around the gym on the other end. They're actually the Lakers #1 on the season guarding pick and roll. That's not going to matter against this motion offense. Like that's actually a bad sign because the Pacers, like I said, they're not going to be able to close out with Hallie spraying the ball everywhere. The Lakers have actually lost 4 of their last 5 games played at 100 pace or higher. As we know, Pacers 102 pace is about their average. They might get up to like 104 when they're at home. They have won 8 straight at home, 12 of their last 14. Actually playing excellent defense in these 8 straight. Number 2, limiting opponents' fast break points, 9th in free throw rate. Lakers, they've gone from 2nd in free throw rate at home to 19th on the road post All-Star break, and they've allowed the second most free throws on the road. Also gone from 49% on corner threes versus 29% at home. So, yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying, that the legs aren't there to get to all these spots for the 3 offensive cogs that have to do so much for the Lakers on the other end. Just not surprising that they can't necessarily close out. And if you can't close out against Indy, they're going to hit a bunch of threes on you. And then, it seems like whatever Indy's doing defensively should be enough to avoid getting into shootout with these Lakers. And Lakers just seem like they won't be able to keep pace here. So give me that at -1. Second pick of the night here. Suns hosting the Celtics. And let's go over 220. Celtics are going to be without Jason Tatum. That indicates maybe a little lapse in offense, but hasn't really been the case the last few times. We've seen actually a little bit more pace without Tatum at times. A bunch more 3-point attempts, which is the Celtics' MO already. It's going to be a steady diet of Jaylen Brown attacking the basket, I think, and then a bunch of threes, as we've seen. I want to look at Jaylen Brown props. I'm just not sure about his health and how much they're actually going to deploy him here, but he has gone right at Kevin Durant. The Suns have done a terrible job protecting the rim. A little bit of fool's gold with their defense lately in terms of like 2 of the last 4 teams they played weren't really trying, but their offense has been carrying it. It's been a huge boost for the Suns to get Bradley Beal out of there consistently and just play offense through KD and Book, both of whom have a long history of success against the Celtics. And Book has lit them up. KD is on a tear right now, and without Tatum, I guess it falls on Jaylen Brown to cover him. But I don't know how healthy he is. He just came back from a 3-game absence and only posted 18% usage rate, scored single digits, right? So is he going to be good to go here now, 3rd and 4 nights for the Celtics? Their defense, usually a little bit worse on the rest disadvantage. But their offense, I mean, yeah, if they're hoisting threes against a Coach Bud defense, should be plenty of good looks, right? The Suns have to drop, even though they're playing a lot more defenders around KD and Book. They play that drop D a lot. The last two in March against the Suns with Vogel at the helm, Celtics averaged 122 a game, 23s at 45% against the Suns defense with similar personnel. And then on the other end, Suns are scoring 120 a game without Beal. They're hitting 18 threes. They just played a similar style against Cleveland and got to 235 despite nobody shooting that well from three, despite the teams combining for 22 free throw attempts. So that's what I'm saying. The Celtics are like lowest free throw rate in the league. Same with Cleveland. They often are very low in free throw rate because they're just hoisting so many threes. And so you don't even need to depend on those outlier 40% plus games. The Celtics to do what they do, which is hit about 38% on insane volume. And you're probably looking at them approaching 120. And I trust the Suns to keep doing what they're doing offensively. Defense, yeah. I mean, I said the Bucks, two of their four opponents weren't trying. The Bucks were obviously trying. It was just a slogged game. Their offense is broken without Dame. It's just Giannis and Kyle Kuzma, I guess. So for that to go under, sure. But before that, the Suns over in 9 of 11 at home over this number. And one of those exceptions is Toronto not trying, only scoring 89. And then the other one is Minnesota absolutely shutting them down. Celtics are capable of shutting the Suns down. But like I said, KD and Book have not been quelled by their personnel. And so I think they carry the Suns here with enough offense to get 220 on the over. And that is all the time we have today for best bets. Please be sure to check out player props in the other video. Like and subscribe to the video. You will see each and every weekday as we bring you these 4 picks each when we get Josh back in here tomorrow, going right on through the playoffs. So check out thelines.com. Check out our newsletter for that bonus parlay. And until we see you next, happy betting.